just wanted to ask you for some injury news on players like Lukaku, Mount, Werner and Kovacic. What can you tell us?
I can tell you that Matteo and Romelu are still out for the game in Leicester tomorrow. Romelu is very close to team training, so hopefully he will join the squad on Sunday. Let's see how this works out. He's pushing hard and trying hard to come back as soon as possible, and we will try on Sunday. Matteo, that will take another days until he is ready to join team training. He will miss some more matches. Timo is in team training since yesterday. So let's see, we have another training in 2 hours, and then we will decide if it makes sense that he is maybe even in the squad or on the bench. We can only decide after his second training later. And Christian Pulisic feels fine. Thiago will be in the training. Thiago Silva, he did not play, but of course he has some travel in his body and some time differences. So let's see how this works out. But I'm confident. And Mason is back in training, looking hungry and fresh and in a good spirit. But we need to evaluate. He did this week training sessions. Looks good, but we need to see if he can start, if he can play 90 minutes or whatever.
Do you think there's any chance that Romelu could be involved against Juventus or Manchester United?
It's pure speculation, and it will not help. All I can say is that in the moment we try hard that he can join team training on Sunday. If everything works out perfectly, if you are in training if he is in training on Sunday and then on Monday, okay, he can maybe join the group on the bench. But there are a lot of ifs, and I don't want to put pressure on him. He's putting a lot of pressure on himself, and we will not rush things. We will take things serious as always, and we will have talks with doctors and physios and with the player. And this is going to be decided. If there is something to be decided, then it's good, and it will be decided on Monday evening.
I just wanted to ask you as well, after an international break, and with the timing of this game tomorrow, how difficult is it for you to prepare your players for a Premier League game? Especially, I imagine so many of them will have had different experiences. For instance, somebody like Jorginho had a very big disappointment. How difficult is your job in these circumstances?
Well, if there's a guy who has enough personality to handle disappointments, it's Jorginho. I fully trust his personality, his character, and for me the most important thing is that when he arrives here, that he feels safe, that when he arrives in Cobham, that he knows that everybody will support him, no matter what happened outside this building. He is our player. He is fully protected and fully appreciated. So we are super happy that he's back. And these things happen during a career, and he's not the first one to miss an important penalty, and will not be the last one. So he has enough character. He had enough difficulties in his career. If you know the story from Jorginho, like how he made it to professional football and what obstacles he overcome. This is a bump on the road and not more, and he can feel safe here in Cobham. We will do everything that he feels good and can continue to play on highest level like he did from day one. In general, it's a bit a demanding one to prepare 12-30 matches. We are not used to it, so this is new. We changed our rhythm in preparing the matches a little bit last time. That worked out for us well. We did not so in the rhythm of our meetings, when we did the meetings, when we gave the lineups, to do as less as possible on the match days, because it's such a early time also to eat. It's an early time to prepare and to have a calm preparation. And we are used to it after national breaks. I don't think that you will find a lot of coaches who like it, to have the full squad on Friday and to play at Saturday at 12:30. But it's the challenge. There are no excuses, and we will not start opening the discussion about excuses. We will arrive well prepared in Leicester this evening, and then it's on us to show how strong we are tomorrow.
Last one, Harvey.
Yeah, just the last one from me. On Conor Gallagher, Gareth Southgate was very, very complimentary about his performance for England and the way he trained with England. How proud are you of the fact that we've got another young Chelsea player who looks like he's going to be a star of the future for England? And do you think in your mind he definitely has a future at Chelsea as well?
Well, it's too early to talk about it, and it's way too early to talk about it in public before we talk with Conor himself about what he wants and what his goals are. This will happen in summer because we all agreed that it's the best step, or is the decision. We all agreed to the decision that he wanted to join Crystal Palace and Patrick Vieira as team. So he saw this possibility for him, and we had these talks before. I'm not surprised that national coach loves him, because I loved him from day one. There cannot be a coach who does not love guys like this. Humble, nice, smile on the face, and all the time ready to give their everything, who want to learn, want to improve, and I would also as a teammate, I would have loved to play with him, because he's a helper, and he starts on minute 1, and he finishes maybe in the shower, but it's the earliest moment when he finishes running and stealing balls. So it's a pleasure to know the guy, to have the guy, and I'm super happy for him that the things work out so well, and now it's on him to keep on going, keep the feet on the ground, and the rest we will decide, not in a rush.
John Southall, 5 Live.
Just one more on Conor. Is it the plan to keep him at Palace for the whole season, or could there be a thought that he might come back earlier?
Actually, I have not thought about it to bring him back earlier, because I think it's also important for him to be happy where he is, and for him now to stay in the moment and not change the next things. It's important to be calm and in this stage of the career, and I feel him happy there, and I think everybody is happy, and it's good that he has this kind of impact at Crystal Palace, and now it's about consistency, and now he had a game in national team, and you have to process all these things. So right now, if you ask me today, I don't think it's necessary to change everything for him again in winter, and I'm super happy that he does so well. I'm super happy for him personally, because he is a guy who absolutely deserves the very best, because he's such a nice guy and top player.
It's the last international break for some time now. Did you manage to get any time off at all? Because it's a pretty brutal schedule coming up now, isn't it? It's coming Saturday midweek until the end of the year, really.
Yeah, it is, and I'm looking forward to it, because I'm in a lucky position that I love my job, and my job does not feel like a job. My job feels like a huge part of my life, so I'm enjoying every day. Being with a huge squad and being around a football team, this is I feel pretty privileged, and that's why I think I'm ready to go.
So it's football consumes you all the time, does it, during
Yes, it does, in a good way. In a good way, it makes me happy, and I love the game, and I feel very blessed that I can be part of a big football club, and that I have the possibility to live my passion. I feel blessed, and I'm first time now we will play around Christmas and New Year, and the last years I was also enjoying a little break. We had a little break in France. We have our little breaks in Germany. But what did we do? We watched Boxing Day, of course, and so now I'm in the middle of it, and it was pure fun to watch, and now it's hopefully even more fun to be part of it. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm aware of the schedule, but like I say, it does not feel like a job. It feels like a big part of my life, and I'm happy to have the possibility to be here.
James Vundra, Thomas, what type of game are you expecting tomorrow against Leicester? Last season, the two sides were neck and neck in the table until right at the end, but they've had more of a difficult start to this season.
Yeah, they had, I think, a key player with Fofana got injured, heavily injured. This can create a bit of trouble in starting to a season. But listen, I think they are a team full of individual quality, full of talent. They have it's a top club, it's a top team, it's a top coach, and so I expect a tough one. But I expect also a Chelsea team, our team, to play with hunger and with passion and with a pure will to win. And this is the mindset which we want to install again to restart winning and to restart our engine after the international breaks. I'm the first time there, so I played them twice, once in Wembley now and once at Stamford Bridge, and everybody tells me it's a tough place to play at, and we're up for it.
Antonio Rudiger, he's probably been one of the best players since you've come back to the club or come into the club in January.
Yeah.
How important is it that his future is sorted out sooner rather than later? Because we know he can speak to European clubs in January.
Yes, and we know that, of course, and I think it's pretty clear what we want. But it's not like this in football, that the coach wants something and or the club wants something and then the things happen. You have to accept it, that sometimes it can arrive and you can end up in situations where the things are like in a bit of a delay, and things maybe take their time. But I'm very, very sure that Tony feels also how respected and what a kind of an important role he plays in this club. I think he's up for the toughest challenge. The toughest challenge is Premier League football. The toughest challenge is to play Premier League football to win titles. So he's a big part in a big club, and I'm very sure that he is aware of it. So I'm calm because I feel Tony calm. I feel the situation calm here inside, and from here we go. I'm happy that he plays like how he plays, and we need him on this kind of level.
And finally, it's been spoken about how Conor Gallagher made his England debut this week. We saw Emil Smith-Rowe do the same. Do you think that Callum Hudson-Odoi may change his approach when it comes to England under-21s, having seen two players in a similar position get the call up to the first team?
Maybe, but it is Callum's choice in the end, and I will not interfere, and I will not be the guy to decide for him. He needs to decide. If there is something to decide for him, he needs to decide. And the best way to talk is with performance on the field, and next chances is tomorrow. So the minute that he gets, if he gets minutes, he needs to take to let that quality speak for himself. And the decision he took, we have to respect it and don't take it personally. And everybody has his own way to approach things. And we are always proud if players play for their country. We always encourage them to play for their country. He decided to stay here now, I think twice, and he was super professional here. To also have a possibility to impress us here, and to maybe from his point of view to have the chance to impress people here and get a grip to his starting position at the moment. So fair enough, and I hope nobody takes it personal. And it's not to compare situation. It's the Callum situation, and it's the way it is.
Last two, Vishali and Nick Pure to finish.
Hi Thomas. Speaking of Callum, I interviewed him yesterday at Cobham. He said he's currently enjoying the title race. He said it's thrilling. As a manager, can you enjoy it when you're in the midst of it?
Yes, because if you're in the middle of it, it's proof that you're in the right place, because we work in a club who wants to be in the middle of title races. Nobody expected the title race to be decided in November, and so it's good news if we are in the middle of it, but it's November and there's such a long way to go. It will not help if we speak too much about it. We have to show consistency, like Liverpool and like Man City proved over the last years, and this is on us now to prove that we are capable to do the same thing. And we want to be in the middle of the race.
And I know you talked about the injury news earlier on, but what kind of condition did Kai Havertz come back to Chelsea, because he missed that game against Liechtenstein? Yeah,
he missed it because of the injury he got against Burnley when he was pushed over the line and into the spectators. So he suffered from that, but he played the second match and is in a good mindset and physically well. So if nothing happens later in training, he's ready to go.
And he scored in that game, didn't he, against Armenia? It's now back-to-back goals for him for club and country. Yeah. Do you feel that you see the right signs from him to suggest that he can continue that goal-scoring form?
He will continue, no doubts about it, because he has a good character, he has the good attitude. He took the right step for himself to challenge him with Premier League, and in a club like Chelsea, it's exactly the right choice to bring out the best in him. It simply needs its time, and you know, grass is not growing faster if you pull it. It takes its time, and he is still young, and he is very ambitious. So we want the best of him, of course, tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. But at the same time, he's only 22, so maybe there are some years to come for him. And if he will stay and fight for it, like he fights for it now, to adapt to Premier League and to adapt to his positions. There will be goals and there will be assists under his belt. This is sure, and I have no doubts.
Last question in this section, Nick Pure.
Hi Tom, just on this Tony situation again, and obviously there's always a lot of players in that situation. You talked about negotiations and things being quite calm. It sounds like the way that all these things are handled, you know, with the club and with the players is quite obviously mature. And it doesn't really affect what's going on the pitch. I mean, is that how you sit? And that sounds like that's the best kind of situation you could find, really, that, you know, what happens, but in the meantime, everybody just does their job.
Absolutely. This is exactly how I feel it. Things are handled very mature and very respectful and very clear. And of course, there are some delays, and with Tony and with Andreas in the moment. But listen, also for Andreas, I have, from my point of view, everybody wants the same thing. The coach wants the same thing, the club wants the same thing, and the player wants the same thing. So hopefully, and obviously, I expect some good news in the next days. But every case is different, and like you said, you can end up in situations like this, but the situations are handled from all sides very carefully and very, very professional, very calm, very mature. And so during the process we can produce performances that we need to fulfill our goals, and that's the most important thing.